Welcome to the World's Blog, day 3 and 4. Before we get into day 4, I'll just spend some brief time on day 3, which was where they do the absolutes for the underbelts and the first day of black belts. Jenna competed again today in the absolute. There she is warming up with Zanji underneath some of the bleachers. She comes out in her first match. She got a girl from middleweight, and she got a pretty quick armbar here again. Was kind of her MO of this weekend. So she was really excited to do so well in the absolute. She ended up placing third. She lost in her semifinal match by one advantage. It's just the way that jiu-jitsu goes. Anybody that competed this weekend will tell you the same thing. You're always fighting to the finish, but it's always a situation where you're always trying to win too, and so there's a certain amount of aggressiveness and bending of the rules to make sure that the game comes out on your end. Day 4 was super exciting, but wasn't without its controversy, which we'll get into here in a minute. The black belts were on full display. You get to see the quarter and semifinals at the beginning of the day, and they finish up with the finals. That's Leo Nogueira. He was going to compete later on in the absolute today, and he looked very sharp throughout the whole experience. The crowd is one of the most interesting parts of the whole day. You can see here the teams are all lined up in different areas, and they're always cheering. And in this case, Alliance was cheering, but it was the Baja person who won, and so now the crowd goes crazy over here. And as crazy as the crowd is, you would think they would affect some of the decisions, but they really don't. It's almost like the referees hate the crowd. And so you've got so many high-level competitors competing. It's really cool to sit and watch. You learn a lot from watching. And then you've got your legends. Here's Leticia Ribeiro. Zanji Ribeiro was competing just a few minutes earlier. And so it's so cool to see these people still competing. You see Hoyler Gracie, a legend, coaching Leticia. In this case, she even walked over once the girl pulled guard to get his opinion. But new school, so to speak, was on full display as well. This was the star of the tournament, Marcus Almeida, or as they call him, Buchecha. Buchecha was just a flurry of awesomeness this weekend, defeating Hidalgo in one of the best matches of the entire tournament, which you can find online. He was just so dominant, winning the absolute and his weight. It'll just be interesting to see and follow his career. It'll just be exciting. Now, here's where we start to get into a lot of the controversy. This was the most exciting match of part of this match, which was the final between Terra and Bruno Maficine. Bruno and Cal had it back and forth, and this is where it started. Right before this, Cal started to take his back out of bounds. They're trying to restart him. They can't figure out the position. They can't figure out the scoring, so now the referee has to go not only explain it to the competitors, he has to go explain over to the rules table and the scorekeepers how he's scoring this experience that just happened. It was kind of a weird thing that happened. So now he's still explaining. Now it looks like it's changed. His hand signals are different than they were a second ago. Andre's a great referee, but this was a weird situation. Now he's discussing with the head referee what's going on. It looks like they can't necessarily agree on what's supposed to happen. He comes back over. It looks like they're going to restart, but now he calls the other referees in. They're going to have a meeting here in the middle. They still don't figure it out. They go back and forth. The reason there's dissolves here because it took about 5 minutes to figure this out. They finally restart the match on the feet. Cal pulls guard, almost sweeps him, and the match ends. And both competitors are up. The crowd is excited. They're fired up because it's 0-0, and it's going to be a referee's decision in 5 minutes. And they had this huge mistake that went on for 5 minutes. It was really difficult. Bruno ends up taking it. And then the same thing in the next two matches. Referees' decisions. In this case, the referees don't even agree. One referee says Cobrinha, the other two say Rafa Mendez, and Rafa takes a referee decision. So forever, everybody will know that Rafa was the champion. But for those that watch the match, know it was 0-0. It was dead even. So this is something that they're going to have to take a look at. Overall, it was a super exciting day. We got to see so much good jiu-jitsu. If you've never been to the World Championships, I highly recommend it, that you make it out and make the trip once in a lifetime. Thanks, guys.